We go through trials and tribulations as a team.
That's
right?
what it was, because I heard that word.
And not everything's going to work in our favor. And I think what I was talking about at that point in time was the fact that our alums who were in that meeting also, how they've gone through trials and tribulations in multiple games here at Yorkville, where it wasn't always peachy. It wasn't always good. It wasn't always positive. We didn't win every game. But those losses are what helped build, or those failures, and I think that's what I was talking about that time, those failures were the foundation to their success. And that's why now they moved on to another organization where they haven't lost a game in their entire duration of being there. Many of them have been there since 2015, and they haven't lost a game.
So now, speaking about players, you've had players that I've noticed come back every year to assist you in this process of teaching the younger players. These are the volunteer players that have moved on, but I saw a lot of them with us this year. So tell me about those volunteer players.
All right, so many of the volunteer players are our alumni. They've been involved in our program just as long as I have. So you're talking about probably 9 years, and I've known many of them since they were 8 or 9 years old. We as a program have left an impact, and I'm big on that word, impact, on these players and their families, where they still want to be a part of the program. So they come back to training camp to help out, to coach. One of our guys who is an assistant coach of our junior peewees, he's 17 years old, that's Cameron. He came back and helped out and is playing a tremendous role.
For me, I have hour practices for ADLO Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 8, so I get home by like 8:45, 9 o'clock, shower, then I have to do my homework, go to sleep by 12, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have Yorkville practices, so the entire week, my schedule's just packed with football.
It's crazy, but you know what Cam just said? Not only is he a player, he's a coach. Not only does he still play, how do you Cam? 17. Not only does he still play, he's also coaching the junior peewees. Guiding and mentoring and coaching these kids as a 17-year-old. We don't see that anymore. We don't see that, and that's because of the values that we as a staff distilled in these kids and the relationships that we as a staff built within these players. So these guys come back and they want to help out and want to be a part. They continue to be a part. They don't want to be a part because they are pillars of our program.
Before I started playing football, I used to hang out, be with family. Now, that's like cut to a minimum.
So they continue to be a part of our program. And that's when you know that you've developed a strong program, when you have kids going on to new heights and still want to come around and be a part of the program.
It's definitely relationships, because like both my parents work pretty late, so it's like they'll get home at like 5:36, and by then I'll already be like leaving for practice and then come home at 9, and it's like you gotta shower, eat dinner, do all your stuff, and then by then you'll probably have like a test or quiz in high school. You got all the homework to do, and like by the time you're done with that, it's very late, and it's like you don't even have time to like
talk to your family or anything, and then your friends want to hang out.
Right? We have Anthony, who's been on the program since 2010.
I think like the most of all is like comfortability, cause you know I don't like waking up at 6 o'clock working out. Like I didn't have to wake up at 5:30 yesterday, you know, go out in the field and do drills and stuff. But it's just stuff I need to do to sacrifice to get to where I need to be, not only for myself, but you know, for my family, for my mom, to make her happy. So that's
I put what I think is a tremendous amount of work outside of practice, and I meet with the coaches, I'd say 3 or maybe 4 times a week. I've gone. I actually just to help out the team. I went to different local businesses, trying to raise money so we can get new jerseys and such. I'm a multi-sport athlete, as Coach D mentioned before. And during the winter, I actually go straight from my ice hockey practice in Long Island City. After a 2-hour practice, straight to ABO practice, even if it's just for an hour, just to get some reps in.
Like I was like used to just working out and doing my homework and just hanging out with my friends, and like now I'm not like I also my mom doesn't really let me stay out of the house like that. Like I can't really leave that much, and now I'm like not even I haven't seen my room. Like she could be turning my stuff all over right now, but I'm like over here and I'm trying to work and it's hot. Like physically I'm giving up stuff, and also like I still have a lot of homework to do. I've been in school basically for almost a year, because we had school and then I had 2 weeks off and then I took a college class over the summer.
I have to stay an hour after school normally so I can get to practice on time. And then when I leave practice at 8 o'clock, it's an hour and a half, 2-hour ride back home. So I get home about 10 o'clock. Then I gotta do my homework and shower and eat, and I'm up until about 1 o'clock so I can get everything done.
I look up to a lot of the older guys, from my son Bobby, Tyler, Ken, feel me, and Alex. It's a lot of role models. It's a lot. I look up to the guys.
Man. I'm only laughing because you said I look up to the older guys like my son Bobby. But yeah, you come in, we spoke a little bit. We have a multitude of players that have just been around for a long time that continue to come back and continue to volunteer their time and help out not only with the kids but with us, the coaches, in many different ways as well. So I mean, that's just to name a couple of guys who've been around for a long time. The kids really respect them. The younger kids really look up to these guys. They really when we break up teams in the camp games in the color war, those guys are selected on those teams too.
I sacrificed a lot of things, a lot. Yeah. You know, it's my last year, but last year was my last year playing eyeball. So, you know, I used to bring my pops to everything. So that was a sacrifice for him, because he had every game, support everybody, and like just to see everybody doing what they gotta do, just making a sacrifice. Cause he a big person, so me coming, like playing football and getting him come out, it was worth it to see everybody do what they gotta do.
Turns around, he takes off his helmet and walks off the field.
How you do it down for?
He took that kid's heart, you know. That's all heart to be able to take a hit like that.
All-Star game, he was supposed to be in the All-Star game.
That same kid was supposed to be in the All-Star game at the end of the season, found out that Bobby was on the team and gave a spot to somebody else.
the purpose of the Oklahoma drill, because I saw both teams doing it at the same time, and Coach Rob was going back and forth just blowing whistles, and he's hollering and screaming, and the older guys were just crashing each other, and the younger guys were a little apprehensive at first, but later on they got into it. So what is Oklahoma?
So the Oklahoma drill, the reason why it's obviously called Oklahoma is it was started, University of Oklahoma did this drill way back in the day, many years ago. This drill is basically about sheer toughness. Who wants it more than the next man? And it's 2-on-3, so you have two blockers and a running back, and then on one side of the ball, and then the other side of the ball you have basically a D lineman and a linebacker. And it's in a very short range of distance. So you're talking about 5 to 7 yards. And the objective is either the defense makes the tackle or makes the stop, or the offense, quote unquote, scores the ball. It's sheer toughness. Who wants it more? This drill I love because you really start to see who wants it more. Who's going to be able to lay it on the line when it matters the most? Who's going to be willing to compete and make a play when a play needs to be made in crunch time? So I love this drill. We do it in training camp a lot, and then we bring it to a point where we do it during the season once a week, like on our hit day, which is typically on Wednesday. We typically tend to do it just to have some fun with it. A lot of the kids enjoy it, but it's really fun when you see the kids actually really exercising it, not only in practice but in the game.
My fault.
Yo, same people, do it again, do it again, yo, do it again, yo, do it again, do it again.
Yeah, Brad.
Thank you. Go, Brad!
Hey! Shit! Hold on, coach, hold on.
Whoa.
Ready?
Way to finish that! Way to finish that! Come on, I need one more. Get
Coach Kelsey, come on, you gotta explain that raucous, crazy drill that I just saw. So tell me what that's all about.
That's Oklahoma drills.
Okay.
It's basically we pick two people on each team. We split them up, and they basically pick their own team. It's a strategy to it. You pick bigger guys, they can stuff it. So every time you're on offense, you get 3 players. The defense gets 2. It's a defense success drill. So everybody on your team on defense has to go. So I got 3 offensive players and 2 defenses, and the goal is to try to get to the other side. And it's very limited space, as you can see. Look,
right.
The 2 white lines. The line starts here, running back starts here. That's the touchdown. And it gets physical. What it does is it helps the kids understand, how to tackle, how to be physical, and you can't run away from it. That's what it's all about. See, when you're on 11 on 11, you can kind of run away and shot yourself and hide. But when you're here as coaches, we get to see who has the intensity, who has that fire, who has the ability to run through players and just go.
And it just seems to me that as the drill went on, the guys were getting into it at first, especially the younger guys. They were kind of a little timid about it, but by the end, they were getting a little raucous.
Well, it's almost like the speech I gave them earlier, is that you got to have it on defense. You got to bring it, and you got to have the intensity, or you're going to get destroyed. So after a while, 2 things happen. When you're destroying somebody, they're going to get mad. They're going to get mad, and they're going to retaliate. And they're going to retaliate in a good way. They're just going to get so mad where they're going to show you that they can do it. And then the other side of it, kids realize that it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Okay.
They start realizing when you get hit, and when you actually do the hit, and then you do it right, it actually feels good. It's an adrenaline rush. They love actually Oklahoma's, I'm sorry. And we do it because when we do it, they get excited. And they know, they finally get the hit. They finally could showcase that they're not afraid. For the Pee Wee level, it really did start off slow. The bigger guys, the Bantams and the volunteer guys, they stepped up really big, but they were prepared for this. They love this, and I'm actually surprised. A good bit of the Bantam guys, they stood up to it, but that's actually what it's all about. You get the older veteran guys to show them, and it actually helps them when they go into a league. Like, okay, I've faced 16-year-olds.
I'm not scared of a 13 or 14-year-old. So these drills, it really helps. And then, it also showcases people what they're doing wrong. And you'll notice that you'll see other guys trying to help, like, hey, you were too high. Get low. Fight through it. Don't be scared. And then when you got somebody on your back telling you, hey, you can do this, it kind of gives you that adrenaline boost also. So it's one of those drills that you have to do. And we're going to do it again tomorrow because, like I said, now for the ones that's very new, now they can see what it's about. And now they're like, okay, I'm ready for this. I can do this. And it also showcases us, the coaches, see if they're actually learning what we taught them, with the 3 tackling skills, the hawk tackling, the tackle roll, the profiling, all those things, they all going together. And as I told them when we were doing it and we were going through the motions, I told them, we're going to get into a game mode. And it still may not matter what I'm teaching you, but the more of the game is, tackle and take them down.
All right, Coach. Thanks.
All right.
I saw throughout the week some kids were just, I don't know if they were faking it, fake it till you make it, but there were some legitimate injuries, and then there was some that looked like the guys could work through it. But remember, these are young men, so how do you address injuries with your team at training?
All right, well, at training camp, because we're practicing so much and we're hitting a lot, people are going to get what I call bumps and bruises. And I think you had it in day 2's clip when they talked about icing and infirmary and all that. Well, you get bumps and bruises, right? So and every coach has this saying is, if you're hurt, you can play. If you're injured, you can't. Okay. Right? So if you're hurt, obviously you got to power through it, and that's one thing that we talk to the guys about. And some of the kids, like you just mentioned, quote unquote fake it, because some kids aren't used to the contact yet. So what they'll do is they'll say they're hurt, sit on the side, but when it gets down to the fun activities, they want to get involved in the fun activities.
What is your? You seem like your week is done, huh?
Yeah.
What's your injury?
My wrist hurts.
Your wrist? It's bad. You can't play without your wrist, so I guess that's legitimate then. How about you? What did you tear up?
My I forgot what it's called.
Tailbone.
My tailbone.
What did you got dropped on it a couple of times?
I got dropped by Bobby. Don't mess with Bobby.
No, he's a big hitter. So
don't mess with Bobby.
Legitimate. Did you see the nurse?
Yeah, she said sit it out.
Sit it out, okay.
Yeah.
And I know you've been nursing that since yesterday.
Yeah.
And he dislocated his shoulder.
Today?
Today. And it popped back in during a play.
So it popped out and then popped back in during a play?
Yeah.
Man, you dying man. And I know you, Mr. Rice, you've been trying to hang in there, but you just can't go, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that happens. It happens. So, and you're just taking it easy, huh?
No, I'm not doing that, Coach. Actually, I've been working really hard on my running. I'm trying to get faster. I'm trying to get my weight down so I can play the season. Right now, I'm going through a shin injury. I hurt it during soccer about 3 weeks ago, so I can't make much contact. I'm not allowed. My doctor said no, so I'm doing as much as I can right now. Hopefully I can do. Hopefully I can get to where I want to be. Right. Thank you for this opportunity to be on.
Okay, so Coach Matt, I went over there to the geriatric unit, where the walking wounded is, and you've got 7, maybe 8 players over there, and they're all giving me all types of excuses for their inability to practice. Everything from neck burns, neck injuries to, one guy legitimately hasn't really participated much since he's been here because of that shin injury from soccer. But we have other guys, my wrist hurts, and what's going on, Matt? What's going on with these guys?
Well, what is the old saying? You have to know the difference between when you're hurt and when you're injured. Okay. And I think they're learning that. They're not really injured, but they're not used to being hurt. And playing football is painful.
Well,
and they're going to have to get used to it.
No gain, I don't understand.
They're going to have to get used to it. That's all it is. That's what we do at camp. You got to learn to get used to it.
All right, so if you had it your way, out of the 7 players that you can see over there on that bench, who would you tell to get their butts back up and get back in the game?
Everybody except Colin and James Rice. Everybody else can play.
Wow.
Everybody else is just hurt over
Hey,
there.
you know, young Philly.
Yeah.
He's been getting banged around since Monday. And he really got ripped yesterday. Blood from the neck and everything like that. But you know what? This is one young man that I can honestly say was upset when he was told that he had to sit out for 5 minutes.
Yeah. He's a tough kid. He likes playing football.
Yeah, that's the kind of players you need.
And that's what we want. You know, never complains. He's happy to do it. That's what you want.
Just go back in there and take another. Hey, thanks, coach. Can I get another?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
That's a conversation we got to have, because if you're not going to participate fully in practice, you know, how can we reward you to be able to participate in a fun activity? And that's also the purpose of camp games, is we see all of that. That goes for or against your team, the toughness side of it. And we're not asking anyone to, jump on a grenade. We're asking you to just display some toughness. Yes, you're going to be hurt. Some of these kids are brand new to football and they've never experienced physical pain before. And football is a lot of pain, physical and mental. So how are you going to work through that? How are you going to power through that? And that's us as a coaching staff, and again the teammates, to help encourage and build and guide players to get through it. Football seasons, they're long. We're playing a nice long season against some physical opponents. Some days you're going to get nicked up, battered, bruised, but it doesn't mean that you're going to keep yourself out. Sometimes you got to put yourself back in there if you're hurt, not injured.
I know guys like Feely, is his name James? Young James Feely. I saw him practically breaking down in tears because he got hit underneath the chin. It stung him, but his determination to stay in the game was so great that he was getting mad because they were telling him to sit.
I got in the head, I felt like 3 people fell on me, and then the wind knocked out of me. I hate this. Second time today.
Listen, you're doing a hell of a job. Relax, okay?
You all right?
Breathe, he's
Yeah,
good.
fine.
He's good, breathe. Don't go back in yet. Do not go back in
You
yet.
heard me, Coach Matt?
Breathe. I know.
Somebody scratch.
Yeah, breathe, okay? You're playing amazing. Come on, yeah! Okay!
I mean, he was injured and still wanted to play. We had guys with blisters that still wanted to play.
He wasn't injured, right? We talked about that. He was hurt.
Okay.
He was hurt. And the reason why he was emotionally upset was because he wanted to compete. So when someone, and that's the fire that I just talked about as far as understanding both, right? And James Feely is a very valuable player in this program. He's been around since 2013. This is his 5th year in the program. He still has 3 years left, right? So he still has this year and 2 more years. So he understands that. He has the pride. He wants to get out there and compete. He wants to compete. He wants to contribute to his team. He wants to do whatever it takes to help the team be successful. And that's even on the practice field, right? So that's what leaders do. And that's why he's one of the leaders on that team, is because he's able to come out there and say, hey, this is I'm hurt, but I'm not injured. I want to go out there and compete.
Tell me about the sacrifice one has to make to play this game of football, and when you went around the room asking everybody to tell them about the sacrifices they made, and just tell us about, real briefly, the sacrifices you make as a coach.
The sacrifices I made, and it's funny because it's on the 2nd episode. The sacrifices I make, man, it has to do a lot with just the fights and the battles that I have for this team, for this program, for this organization. People don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and that's fine. I do a lot of work to make sure that, number one, our organization is treated fairly, that people respect us, that we develop our players the right way, that we develop a positive culture here as an organization, and it's showed over the last 9 years. It showed, and I'm proud of the fact that of the sacrifices I've made, the arguments that I've gotten into with people to help build and keep this program moving forward. Y'all have no idea the battles I fight behind the scenes for you guys to be able to do stuff like this. So the sacrifices I make is more like integrity stuff. Like, for me, it's just natural to make sure that y'all can have whatever y'all want in this program or any other program that you deserve, number one, out of football, and number two, out of life. So the sacrifices I've made are just basically stuff to me that seems regular now. Whether it's financial, whether it's time, whether it's doing things outside of my comfort zone to make sure y'all can have whatever y'all want. That for me is what I do for y'all. So for me, it's no big deal. Thank you. Oh, you still gotta say. Because nothing matters to me as far as our football program more than our families. The parents, the kids, even my coaching staff, because they're part of the family too. That's why when we break down every practice, every game, the first word we say is family. Because we're a family. Then we say Eagles, because we love our program, the Yorkville Eagles. And then we always look to bring the boom every game we play, every practice we participate in. So those are some of the sacrifices I've made as a director and a coach for this program over the past 9 years.
This is what this is meant for. This right here is meant for to see who's going to walk off when it gets tough. When it gets tough and you start walking off, guess what, guys? Football is tough. It gets tough every play in football, especially when you're getting whipped and pushed back. Can you push forward? And I'm seeing who can, and I'm seeing who cannot, and that's what I need. One, two, 3, 4, 5. Get up. Give me the drill.
Get down now.
Get down now. Getting down.
We need people
Same
on
people
this
stay
team.
on all
We
3
need
times.
people on this team
So
who
everyone
are willing to
has
push back when they get pushed. I don't need people who, when they get pushed, they go, oh, I'm to the sideline. Oh. I don't need people like that. This team does not need that. Coach Matt and I don't need that. Down. Set. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Same team. Do it again. 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 Up the gut. Up the gut. Shoot the cat. I've taken the guessing work out of it. I have taken the guessing work. You don't have to guess where to go. You don't have to guess what move you're going to use. You're going right here. No move, nothing, just right there, right? Correct? Okay, so I shouldn't see you go out here, right? Down. Set. It's different. It's different now, right? Again, do it again. Same thing. Do it again. You got to grab both legs, grab the squeeze, man. We taught this yesterday.
Yeah, wrap
that leg and you roll. Down. Set. Help out.
Nice job. No one can freaking block. So
how come I don't have 5 people? How come I don't have 5 people?
What are you doing on my team?
Push your position.
We're on offense.
Push your position.
Yo,
Push your position.
They're 2